You're gonna
Hell
go
yeah.
into this like a first date, and this is how you're gonna do it. This is the formula that has worked for me over the past 2 to 3 years.
Well, let's set
I
it up because I have a job interview today. I called you and I was like, Paul, I need a Paul pep talk. Please get me through this job interview. My hair's a mess right now. So,
all
like,
right.
people need to know I just need your help. Paul, what do I do? How do I get through this job
Okay.
interview? Treat it like a first date?
First of all, treat it like you're going on a first date. You're gonna go into it. You're basically gonna take this person that is interviewing you on a date to the Olive Garden,
Okay.
because if they can't handle you at the Olive Garden, they're not going to be able to handle you anywhere else. So the Olive Garden is the ultimate um, test to see whether or not, because listen, you got to make sure that this job is good for you.
Dude, yeah, that's the thing is like I don't know, like I took it just because like I want money, but like I can already tell they're trying to like exploit me. Does that make sense? Because I was like,
Well,
it's an AM cook position, but then they're like, "Can you come in and work tonight?" And I was like, "Wait, what?"
so the thing is that every job is like that, because once you get hired, you're just a body on the floor. So setting ground rules in the beginning of the relationship is the best. And if they can't accommodate you, maybe it's not the best job for you, or maybe
Sure.
it's the best
How do you
job.
do that at Olive Garden though? Do you like is there a way that you'll like establish dominance maybe like immediately? Like
Yeah,
what is
you
your
just
like go-to tactic?
when I go to the Olive Garden, the first thing I do is I ask for all the cheese in the building. You want to make an immediate connection. I take the
That's how you
machine
build
that
a
grades
connection?
the cheese,
Okay. What kind of cheese do they usually
all of
got
it.
there? Like, I
No,
feel like you just
listen,
have like bricks of Parmesan and then salt.
listen. No, you're limiting yourself. You
Okay,
take all the cheese.
interesting.
If you take
No, I
all
have,
the, what are they going to do? You've just held their whole business is based on cheese. You can't, they can't function without the cheese. If you hold the cheese card, you have taken, by the way, you look fancy, and
thank
I
you.
think I think you're going to do good on this interview. But yeah, don't let them dick you
I'm gonna
around.
put my hair in a hat too to show them that I'm not a freak. I had, I showered and I got my hair
Yeah,
all in a stuff. I figured it's for a kitchen job, so I might as well just
yeah.
put it up.
I'll put it to you like this. You
Yeah,
have to ask yourself, what would Steve Keith do in this situation? He would immediately write, he would have a letter to Home Office already written. He's got like six
yeah,
of them for any situation.
you're right. Steve Keith would be very prepared. I think that's what's got me so fucked up about it. But here's my plan. It is a restaurant in a
Mhm.
hotel. I feel like since I'm only gonna live here for 4 months anyways, like 4 more months tops, why not just be the worst employee there though?
Yeah, I mean, there's something to say, because here's the thing: in every job I've ever worked, the worst employees are either higher management or a supervisor. The worst, most toxic employees are usually the people that are in charge, because of the fact that in most places it's run like a high school, and those people have the ability to manipulate the situation and become friends with the people in charge. You need to do
Yeah.
that. If you treat everyone like garbage, but then pretend to be their friend, you could be running this place, Brian.
I mean, I used to think that's what I was like, but then I found out I'm just mean. So I'm like, damn, I guess I got to work on the sweetness. No, I think really you're onto something because it's the people. I saw like a good meme the other day. It was one of those like hang in there, babe type memes. You know what I mean? Like just like who the fuck's posting this? I don't even remember. I probably deleted the person that posted it. but it was like one of those. It was in this group called Work Memes, relatable. But it was like basically like watch out who you complain to. Just because they're listening doesn't mean they're your friend. And I was like, girl, yes, say it again twice. You know?
Yeah, so, but that's the thing, Brian. The fact of the matter is that you want to go into this situation and immediately alienate everyone. Burn as many
Okay,
bridges as you can. Go
okay,
in, break as much equipment as you can, blame it
okay.
on other people. If there's a fryer later, release the vent. Cover everything in oil. Be chaos. No one likes a boring person.
Yeah, I'll at least still have a good story. Like it's
Yeah.
actually funny. The last restaurant job I did here, I when I was draining the fryer bed, you know, you got to screw on like a pipe or whatever to like drain it out. I screwed it on so tight it got stuck for weeks. So that was, you know, I'm already pulling it off a little bit. You know, like you know, I'm diving back in there, like, oh, I'm such a but that you're kind of getting it now because that's the angle I kind of want to take because it's like. Fuck this. Like going into it. Like there's no like I'm not gonna tell them I'm leaving or anything. I'm literally just there to drain the clock
Yeah.
financially.
What you're gonna
So
do, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go in there, do and the least amount of work that you can without getting fired. And then
hmm
on your last day, just steal as much silverware and steal as much like I want you to treat it
making
like
sense,
you're going
folks.
to a liquidation sale of the Bed Bath and Beyond. Listen,
Okay.
you owe it to yourself to get that 1,000 thread count sheets.
You're
You
right.
owe
I
it
do
to
deserve
them and
this.
you owe it to yourself.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul. You know what's funny? The person I'm interviewing with today, guess what their name is?
Paul.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was like,
that's how
see,
you
it's like
know
a
it's
vibe.
good.
Well,
That's how
this is
you know
how I
it's good.
know. This is how I know it's bad. And take a walk with me, because yes, I'm going to be pacing this entire time because I'm thinking of all the chaotic shit I'm going to bring to this place. But so they texted me or they emailed me because this is about an Indeed hire or whatever, and the guy goes, "Hey, it's me, Paul, again." And I go, "Interesting." No, he
Yeah,
goes, "I you don't have any like cooking experience like on your resume. Like, why would you apply to be the AM cook here?" And I was like, I have tons of cooking experience. It's just a bunch of it was in Connecticut. And then the restaurants I did work at here in Nebraska, they're literally nothing to write home about. But here's the series of places I've worked at. And then he was instantly like, when can you come in for an interview? So it's like, do you even have cooking experience? I feel like I could have been like, no. And they would have been like, when can you come in for an interview? Like he had
yeah,
that copy and paste, like locked and loaded. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Well,
I'm like extra. And then immediately I'm like, I can come in like, we were going to podcast yesterday. And I was like,
yeah,
I'm kind of spread too thin today, but any other day. But then he chose today. But we had already worked around that to do it today. So I was like, I'm not going to miss it today, but I'm going to make the podcast specifically about this chick since this guy is going to be a habitual line stepper. But like, I, so I go, yeah, tomorrow at noon's fine. And then he goes, well, like, cause he's like, yeah, I want to get you in as soon as possible. Cause if you're available nights, like, I got a guy with a shattered elbow. I want to get you started immediately. So it's like, oh, you think you're just gonna like jump me into the like the pit like immediately? Like, do I even have to bring my social security card for this, or is this gonna be like a hands-on training where you just get free labor out of me and then fire me? You know what I mean?
yeah. I would call up the guy with the shattered elbow. I would do some reconnaissance.
It's fucking weird, dude. I applied for you know, I ran a museum in Connecticut. We did a comedy show there for fuck's sake to show you how lawless that place ended up becoming. But I applied for another. There was a few
Yeah,
museum jobs at a museum here where we did not in Lincoln, but like a town over where we did Fest Stop too.
yeah,
Because I don't want to say the name of the museum, but basically the lady calls me and she goes, like, she didn't even read my resume that I was like a manager or like, you know, any that I ran one before. So she was just like, "Oh, do you have experience?" like doing any of this stuff? And I was like, yeah. And then she's like, okay, so these are the jobs we're hiring for. And I swear to God, this is actually what she said, Paul. She goes, you could run the gift shop for $13 an hour. And that's actually the job I was applying for because like the gift shop was just one of the thousand things I had to do. So I was like, why wouldn't I just do that one thing? It sounds like the easiest fucking job of all time. Like, oh, can I have that? Yeah, sure. Give me money, you know? And then they're like, okay, or you could be the office admin. So like something that like, take care of all the fucking like whatever shit behind the scenes for 13.50 an hour. So 50 more cents, just stand there at the gift shop. And then she goes, I swear to God, Paul, that's what she says. We're the highest paying position that we're hiring right now is the grill cook at 16.50 an hour. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I was like, well, don't people do like tours or like something? Like I used to do tours at the museum. Like who does that? Like are you hiring those? And she's like, oh, we don't pay those. They're volunteers. I'm like, so the thing that you actually need to be like fucking knowledgeable in, like that's the unpaid thing. I'm like, so she like really tried to push me. She found out I had like cooking experience, so she's like, please be the grill cook. And I was like, I want to run the gift shop. She's like, it's less money. And I was like, I want the gift shop. And then I didn't even go to the interview, but I fought this bitch about it.
Yeah, yeah, you need to fight everyone because life is hard, and if you don't assert yourself, you'll be eaten.
I, dude, I couldn't have said it better myself. Like people, I've been called outspoken before, but I'm like, I am just sticking up for myself. I'm just advocating for me. That's
Yeah,
all. Loudly and a bunch and over again in your
yeah.
face,
You
just
have to
advocating.
you have to stick up for yourself. You have to that took me the longest to that took me the longest to learn in life is that you're not going to get anywhere if you don't know how to play the game. And
Yeah,
I
the
don't
game
know
ain't
what,
fair either.
no, it isn't. And, you know, so the more chaos you bring to a situation, the better it is because if you're going to be a line cook, the being a line cook is probably the most toxic job that you could ever have in your life. So why
Absolutely. I
not
agree.
add why not add to the chaos?
Because seriously, and it's in a hotel too. That's where I'm like, ooh, it's going to be extra chaotic in a weird way.
Yeah.
But here's where you're right. The line cook is the most toxic because it's like this underpaid, grueling, just dog shit environment. Like you're just paid like $0 an hour to just stand there and make everyone's food. Like I've been a server, I've been a bartender, I've been a cook before. I almost said chef, but like that'd be way pushing it. You know what I mean? But like that's the point I'm trying to make is like I would much rather be like a server bartender again, but like at the same time those have their own things that I wouldn't wish upon anybody either cuz talking to people, that's like I guess the one like dope part about cooking is like not having to interact with the customers.
Yeah.
And even then, you
Yeah.
have to sometimes.
Yeah. Traditionally, the line cook or like anybody who works the back of the house works the back of the house because they can't function in society. That is
Correct.
where we live.
Like I don't know, maybe a certain person named Ham Clancy's kitchen manager right now is legit my pod dealer. You know what I'm saying? Like
Uh,
just saying. I'll edit that out maybe. But either way, you know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. And that's what's weird too, is that was like when I got into kitchen jobs again, I was like, well, at least because it was like when I first moved to Nebraska. And at the time, I was like, I know this isn't a big worry for you, but for me it was, especially living in a new state, I was kind of like, where the fuck am I gonna buy weed? You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I was like, you know what? These scumbags will have it. But unlike any other place, these places here, these kids will be like, yeah, I mean, it's around, but no one will be like, who sells it? Like, they'll be like, I don't know you. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what is
Potential
happening?
customer.
I think it's because it's still so illegal here that people are like, oh, I don't know, man. But then you have to like really work for it.
Yeah. Listen,
You
I don't
kids, you
know
got it all
much.
legalized now. You don't know what I'm struggling with out here.
Yeah. I don't I don't know much about the narcotics game, but I do know this. I'm not a narc, so anything you tell me is confidential. I'm like a priest. Anything you tell me, there's a good chance that I'm gonna forget. So,
I'm banking
um,
on it, honestly,
yeah,
because like that's why I came to you today. I needed this Paul advice. I was like, I'm talking to a
yeah.
Paul. I need to talk to another Paul. The two Pauls closest to my heart. The one I do my podcast with, and then the one that is I'm meeting for the first time today. Two Pauls, very important to me. So I should steal. I should break things. Is there anything I should do going into the initial
Yeah,
interview
make
though?
him
This is like all
feel.
banking on that I get the job. So I have to still like
Yeah,
sell myself. What is something
yeah.
that you bring to like an interview that like makes you unparalleled?
So basically, when I go into the interview, I go in with a ridiculous amount of energy.
Hmm.
I don't break eye contact, and I force them to sell me a pen. So
Okay. So you just do Wolf of
that's
Wall
what you do.
Street?
Yeah, yeah, but what I'll do is I won't let it go, and I will keep producing the same pen out of a pocket over and
Mm,
over again.
that's very
I will
smart.
waste this person's time because, God damn it, I'm there wasting my time. I'm gonna waste
Exactly.
yours.
I'm gonna be like more like sell me this dab pen. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah. And it's like, that if, like, I don't know, a restaurant, like any restaurant in the United States, you go back there and just say, hey, we're doing a surprise drug test. Every single person in that restaurant is getting fired. That's why
Fired.
restaurants know what they're doing. They know what
Right.
this life is about. They know the people that they're hiring. Um, they know what they're doing. So now you're in a situation where every single person is like that. You see, I'm only funny because I'm the only Paul. If you had to work with like seven of me, I would just drive everyone insane.
Seven of you would be on its own level weird because you'd be like, why is everyone doing magic
Yeah,
at this Geico office? You know
I
what I
know,
mean?
but it would be the best because
That would be
um,
intense.
what I would do is we would have to prioritize the different Paul stuff. Like one Paul would just be specifically magic. Another Paul would be the dude who lights the dumpster on fire and
Mm,
pulls the fire alarm so people could leave work early. Another Paul
nice.
would be like you would be like, hey, I don't know what the rest of the Pauls would do. I think we would rotate in, like,
Rotate. I
and
actually
then
we I tackled this subject sort of in my like brain. We did a I don't want to say it's a sketch. It was a very real thing we did where I cloned myself on public access and chill multiple times. And when I had all the me's, I just made them the audience.
yeah,
So I know what I would do if I had a bunch of Brian's is I would legit just run jokes on them and
yeah.
heckle myself. So that's where I'm at. So at least you're a step ahead of me. These are all very good like things I need to take in there. I almost want to bring you to this job interview with me. I don't think it's going to work like that, but I need to like,
I'll
you know,
interview the interviewer.
yeah, that would be pretty crazy to just pull my phone out and be like, "Can you actually talk to my associate Paul here?" And he'll be like,
This
"I'm
is
Paul." And I'll be like, "No,
this is my
this is Paul."
agent. this,
And you
this
could
is
be
the
like,
guy.
"Hey, I'm you in the future." That would be fun.
Yeah.
You knew
Listen,
something
go
like
ahead
about
and
him.
hire my friend Brian for 3 months, and then he's gonna steal your till. And if you're cool with that, hire him.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal your dough mixer.
Yeah.
What's up? Well, you have to I had to take a little test because the thing is, their menu is a little upscaley. It's a steakhouse slash bourbon bar in a hotel,
Oh.
and I was like, I don't know, this might be a little like out of my depth. And then Kyle Anderson, friend of the show, uh, goes, it might not be as like fancy as you're thinking because don't forget this is a hotel. And I was like, ooh, good call. You know what I mean? And then I'm like really looking at the pictures and I'm like, is that just, pasta Alfredo or is that just mac and cheese? You know what I mean? Like
Well,
what's really happening here?
so here's the thing. Every kitchen that I've worked at, it's like this is the issue. How many restaurants have you worked at and the kitchen manager doesn't know what first in and first out mean? When you work in a kitchen, there's supposed to be a person at the beginning of the shift with a clipboard who temps all the food.
Dude,
But
I
that
haven't
person,
seen anything like that out here.
no,
Dude,
yeah,
no one in Nebraska even knows what mise en place means. And I'm like, I'm not even
no,
trying to be fancy. I'm like literally like being a dickhead. Like I'm like, yeah, like he's like, hey, you want to cut this pepper? I'm like, yeah, bro, get a little mise en place going. He's like, what? And I'm like, yes, I will cut the fucking pepper for you. I'm like,
yeah,
Jesus fucking Christ. Like, go back to watching golf on your phone.
I know. It's just the fact. It's the fact of the matter is that 75% of the time, no one knows what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know how to make a sanitizer bucket, and I'm pretty sure
Mm-hmm.
those are important for the basic cleanliness of a place.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
We
pretty
broke a
much.
sink at my last restaurant I was working at. They had
Yeah,
a ceramic sink in the back for some reason, not a metal one for the hand washing station. And this dude had like boiling water and he just poured it down it and it broke the sink right off the wall.
yeah,
Fun shit. But like, this is also like a restaurant that would like, okay, it's lunchtime. Grab that bucket full of chicken wings and just put it right next to the fryer all day.
yeah.
Like,
It's like
okay.
we need you to prep this raw chicken right next to this veal. Mmm, cross
Yeah.
contamination.
Do it
God, I
in
love
the
the
sink
smell of
that while this guy's
salmonella in the
doing the
morning.
dishes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love the
Yeah.
smell of salmonella.
Oh man, I mean, like the horror stories you see, like on air, the horror stories are like not even their personal lives. It's like the day in day out. It's like the things
Yeah,
that they decide to like kick under the whatevers, the fucking
yeah,
things they decide to like just throw in there anyways. You know what I mean? Like I mean, I don't fuck around with anyone's food. I don't like that shit. But
yeah,
like, goddamn, like you see it, and like obviously everyone takes lazy ass shortcuts all the time, and that's the thing too is people for whatever reason when they picture like cook or whatever they picture like in their mind I feel like always like an upscale type place. You have to
yeah.
remember there's like 20 people in the back at like Chili's just being miserable. You
Yeah,
know what
they
I
hate
mean?
their life.
Someone's just flipping all those burgers, just being
Yeah.
like just like smoking meth.
Well,
Like
I can't
that's a
remember
person though.
I can't remember which comedian said this, but my take on the whole situation is that I was a dishwasher at Denny's. If you want to meet the worst type of, I'll put it to you like this. Kitchen staff at any given restaurant would kill you for 20 bucks. They would they would stab you right in the throat. It is like a prison, and you either learn what you're supposed to do. The Denny's I worked with used to stir their pancake mix with a whisk that was welded to a drill. This
We
drill
used to
had
mix ranch like that. We used to have
this,
like a drill that
yeah,
had like the one like adapter for it. Remember, I would send like y'all videos of it.
yeah.
That's so nasty.
Because here's the thing. Sometimes Rebecca and I we like to go to Chili's um to feel like we actually can go to a place. And
Hell yeah, I love Chili's.
we we were sitting there and this older couple were sitting there and the guy pulls the manager aside and he's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know this isn't the color steak I ordered." And I was like, "You bitch, it's a chili. The fact that it's cooked is
Hell yeah, you
a
got him, dude.
miracle." I was like, when you go to Chili's, your steak is either going to come out cold or overcooked, and anything in the middle is beyond their capability.
Absolutely.
So you are a dumb bitch for, yeah, what are they going to do? They're going to just take your whole fucking steak and throw it in a microwave and they're going to obliterate it. Oh, just tell them to throw it back on the grill. Shit. They might cook your steak in the damn dishwashing machine just to, you know.
Yeah, for real. I mean, the incompetence is very real. Like you can tell people that have never even like worked in a restaurant, tried to work in a restaurant because like I hate to be like, I was at McDonald's, but I was at McDonald's and this lady came in and she goes, "You fucked my order up." And they go, "How?" She's like, "You didn't give me my food. I ordered on the mobile app." And like basically it's like this big back and forth. They have to get a manager. Manager comes out, she looks at the mobile app on this lady's phone, and then she's just like, "You have to push I'm here. Like you never said you were here to pick it
Yeah.
up." Like, why would we give you something if you weren't like, I'm fucking here?
But see, that's not what I'm talking about. What
I
I'm
know.
what I'm talking about is that when you go to Denny's and you order a steak, they cook everything on the same fucking griddle. Your steak is gonna end up tasting like a pancake, and it might as well be a pancake.
Like those people
You
that order like a veggie burger at somewhere like that, you're like,
yeah,
what's even the point, bro? They're gonna be picking steak out of that thing.
yeah, they're gonna. I'll, Big Denny's might come after me, but everything is fucking frozen. They don't thaw their shit out. They pull it. It goes right from the freezer onto the griddle. That's
Gee,
why that's it. If you're not ordering eggs or um if you're not ordering eggs or like toast, fuck
yeah,
you. That's not what Denny's is for. You go to
right.
Chili's for fresh chips and a queso bowl. If you order your steak medium rare, it's gonna come out cold. Get it well done, and it's gonna get overcooked. Don't get the fucking steak.
Seriously.
Go to a steakhouse.
Damn.
Make one yourself.
I mean, I'm going to a steakhouse. That's the
Yeah,
problem, I think. You know?
yeah. I mean, it's just like, yeah. I always tell people, you get what you pay for. If you got a dude back there making minimum wage, the fact that you're getting anything edible is
That's
America.
true.
When I'm at the theater and I'm like, I'm flipping chicken tenders or I'm making pretzel bites, and somebody
Grueling.
comes up, somebody comes up to me and was like, "There's no salt in this popcorn," and I was like, "Well, there's salt in the butter station," or like the
Also, I did
people,
put salt on it.
yeah. The fact of the matter is we're supposed to put one half a cup of salt in the mixture. If you do it, you obliterate. Everyone's palate is different.
Right.
I mean,
It's not salty enough.
I
Like,
haven't had
okay.
anybody bring back my popcorn, but the fact of the matter is that my favorite thing is that, and like I tell everybody, you're ordering food from a movie theater. What did you expect? It's like going to McDonald's and expect. It would be so funny if you went to McDonald's and you ordered like a number one and they gave you. It's like, hey, Gordon Ramsay decided to do a shift today. He's just back there making the most delicious food. And then you're like, no, I want shitty. I always say it's like when people complain about the food at Taco Bell, God damn it, it's Taco Bell. If they get my order right, I'm mad. I expect it to I expect it to have problems because I'm not a jerk.
Yeah, you're not a jerk. You've been
Because
getting
I
me
think
through this. I'm gonna take you at least to the place too, if you want to see some of the
yeah,
downtown Lincoln stuff. But yeah, dude,
oh
like
sweet
it's funny that you
baby.
bring up McDonald's too, because it's like that has become always like the trope too. And it's like people like I know the big hack joke is like you expect them to make $15 an hour. It's like I expect them to make like $50 an hour. Actually, the most richest company in the world with the most like asinine fucking hours I've ever fucking seen for like literally what fat fucks like me that just want like indulgences. Like, you know, it's rough.
So here's the thing, and this is what people don't understand.
Okay.
People believe that people who work in restaurants and service workers and stuff like that, people have it in their idea that they should be making minimum wage, having no experience in doing that job. They're like, I'm a construction worker, so I should be making this thing. I'm a crab pot fisherman, and my job is hard. I don't know if you've ever seen anybody who burned themselves on a fryer or have had to get carings. These people would absolutely freak out. And I always like it. It's like, oh well, it's like when people try to they tried oh I charge this so much for my comedy kids show, my kids magic show. They're like, I'm this and I don't make that much. And I'm like, well, that's not a Paul problem. Either you want my service or you don't. And for you to sit there and tell me how much I should be making, that's not your that's not none of your business. But what I'm saying is that how much is your time worth? That's what people. It's like, oh, you get minimum
For
wage.
real.
Yeah, it's like your job. You might be getting paid more money for it, but at what cost? You're literally in a movie theater arguing with a 16-year-old kid over popcorn. How much better at your job do you think you are when you're in a movie theater arguing with somebody who's in high school over a popcorn?
Right. It's the pick your battle speech, but like time 10. It's like, it's anytime I've ever been like a third party to something like that, like I see someone like unloading on like an
Mhm.
innocent cashier or something, that's always when I fucking like step in. Not to be like the fucking white knight of the situation, but I have like literally no tolerance for that shit. And that's what was like I was saying to when I was telling Kyle about the job and he was kind of like helping me with like getting through like it's in a hotel. It probably isn't that fancy or whatever. I was fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Shit.
Bam, make it up.
It doesn't matter. I was like, yeah, it was like this whole fucking thing. Like I forgot. Sorry, like this car drove by all weird and shit. It's hard to podcast and drive at the same time. But
This is probably
well,
not the best thing.
no, it's fine. It is. It's a good thing. It's a fine thing. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I'm just like I'm fucking over it. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I was like to Kyle, I was like, can you imagine me biting my tongue at a customer? Like really? And he's like, no. And I'm like, exactly. I'm like, I have, but like it's for me personally, if anyone who knows me, that is such a fucking feat for me to like bite my tongue on a situation. God, I mean, like we all know it, but like especially with customers, because like I don't have to take that shit. I don't get like that's the thing is there's no job, and I mean no job that I like enough to like ever handle that shit. I will sooner quit like every job day of like than like deal with something that like makes me like fucking like upset or like uncomfortable. Like obviously I bite my fucking tongue and like grit through shit all the time because jobs are jobs, but like at the end of the day, yeah, it's you get one life, all this shit. Don't let people take advantage of you. That's all this business does. All the same things we've been saying.
Yeah,
But
and that's the thing. You spend most of your time you spend most of your time working anyway. You might as well have fun doing what you're doing. And if that's at the expense of your employer, well, hell, I say just burn the place down. Let's do this. Let's be anarchy. Let's
yeah.
let
Oh, I
it's
mean,
just
we're gonna be anarchists tonight. We're almost there.
yeah.
I'm excited. We're getting that view tonight,
Is
baby.
this O Street?
No, the this way street, the cross street. We're on 10th and M right now.
Yeah.
We were going down L Street. I don't fuck with O
Yeah.
Street really anymore. O Street is kind of like a bad vibe. Also, it's been
Yeah.
under construction. Big M Street guy. Nothing's on M Street. It's just parking garages and a strip club. It's literally,
Nice.
yeah. I mean, sort of. I used to go to the bar next door to do karaoke. The strippers would come over there and hit your vape without asking. But yeah, it is. It's a fun time and stuff. But yeah, I'm basically about to be there though. I'm really, really, really fucking pumped. Do you have
Yeah.
any final thoughts for the podcast? You got me through this. I want to like give you an update of how it goes because if I get the job, I'm gonna be like, this is all thanks to Paul, and I'm gonna do everything you said to a T.
Yeah, just go in there and treat it like any other situation. Um, and just remember, I treat everything like I'm the assistant manager on a cruise ship.
Right.
Just just go in there, be yourself, do the best you can. He's gonna ask you the same 7 questions that any hiring manager asks you, and don't
Yep.
work tonight. Just tell them that you just want to be the AM thing. Don't let them take advantage of you.
You're right. I needed to hear all those things. I can actually see the place from where I am right now. I just got to go around the block because of one ways.
Yeah.
Shit, dude. You have any shows coming up? Anything good?
Uh, I
Any
had a
plugs?
show last night
Oh
at
yeah, I
the
saw your fucking
and
outfit, that green fucking suit. That was
yeah,
sick.
yeah. I'm trying to have a new comedy magic drip every time I do a show,
Okay,
but
I fucking dig it, bro. It was sick. You're in like a three.
that's getting expensive. But
Oh yeah.
uh, so I really like the outfit I have with my red shoes. Um, I really like them. And then like the next show I had, I believe is in Hartford with Rob Santos.
Shit. Sorry, I missed like 3 parking spaces, and then I finally went to take one, and it wasn't a parking space. I'm so fucking
Yeah.
annoyed with myself. Rob, that's awesome. I've been trying to get an interview with him. He hit me up to do a podcast, and then I haven't heard back from him. So tell him to
Yeah.
fucking hit me back up. That's how we do it here at
I
the
will.
Brian's One Paul show. I actually got parking right in front of the fucking place. Go me.
Yeah.
I'm just pulling it.
I want you to tell him that I said hi.
You know what's funny? She just texted me saying she thought she heard me say her name, which is
Yeah.
funny because I'm like right by her work too. But I will definitely tell Ham I said hi. So it's right behind me. I'm about to go in there and bang out this job interview. I'm only 9 minutes early, so that's pretty good. I can hang for a sec. Yeah, I have no shows this month. I'm very excited. I only have one, April 28th at Gotham at Haymarket. Tour dates in May and June though. I am
Yeah.
more of a South Dakota comedian now than I am a Nebraska comedian at this point because of my tour dates. But I got a bunch of shit coming up in May and June. Me and Sweet Baby Hammy are going to be all over. And yeah, I'll be only working at this dump hopefully for 4 fucking months, and then we're back east doing
Yeah.
Fest Stop 3 with Paul Kilmer.
Hey, listen, you know as well as I do that I will come.
Hell yeah. That's what I say to him every day when we make maritals. You know, I will come. And she's like, whatever. This was amazing. I'm gonna hop in there. Actually, no, I gotta pay the meter. So let's keep it going for a second. And honestly, feel free to keep going too, because I have to. It's gonna keep recording regardless. I might jump back in the Zoom after whatchamacallit, the interview's over and update it for the recording. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is that I always wish you the best luck because I think out of anybody you deserve it.
Oh, that's not true. You're right here, dude.
And then like what me and you can do is one of these days me and you are just going to go on a Paul Bryan tour.
Dude, I would love that so much. People have been asking me for touring, and I'm like, I don't want to fucking tour with anybody unless you're fucking cool.
Yeah.
And you're the coolest. All right, I'm putting 2 hours on this fucking meter. Fuck me, dude.
Do you need
$2
quarters?
and 50 cents. Like, what?
Do you need quarters?
No, you could use your card, thankfully. You know what's funny though? I got quarters last night, anyways. I have a tip jar with a fake 100 taped in it at my DJing gig.
That's smart. That's called seeding your tip bucket.
Yeah. Oh, I always do that. I always be like, someone give me $1. I'll give it back to you after. Let's see. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh. No.
Yeah.
It's that building right there, and then it's that.
Fancy.
Yeah, it is.
You'll be fine, Brian.
Yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, either way, yeah, this is the name of the hotel, and that's the name of the restaurant. If you can see it, doesn't matter if you can't. It's all good. But yeah, all right, homie, we did it. We did a good episode. Huh?
Is it called Ciabattos?
No, it's called Graduate. The Graduate, and then the restaurant's called Single Barrel. But yeah, we got to do a real podcast soon. I know we were just having fun today, but we got to do a real one, real upcoming or something. Hell yeah. All right. This is it. The moment of truth.
All right, man. Good luck.
Thank you. Love you, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
If you want to keep going, keep going. If you don't, totally get it. But either way,
yeah.
Anything you want to talk about, I love you with the bottom of my heart. You are amazing. Thank you for your pep talk. I'm going to steal this scooter.
Do it. It's the
All
seed.
Right. Doing it.
All right. Bye.
Hell yeah. What up, motherfuckers? So I got hired. It was exactly what we thought, though. It was just nighttime bullshit. They were basically, he just told me that a bunch of people quit and that he was trying to fill their hours, and he peer pressured me and like made me like want to, like, he's like, well, I guess you can wait like a week and I'll let you know when I need the AM person, but I got to get this PM shit filled out. So I'm like, well, I don't want to talk myself out of a job, but basically I'm going there tomorrow to work a night shift, get trained, get in the books, regardless. Hopefully switch to morning soon, because I told him it's not viable to have me at nights. I told him I'd rather be a fucking dishwasher during the day than be cooking at night. It is what it is. Like I said, place seems super fucking disorganized. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna work there. It's gonna suck ass. And I'm gonna fucking leave. And he's all like, we got Wiz Khalifa coming here next fucking. Apparently every major sporting fucking team, college wise, professional, like go here when they're in this area. A lot of people that perform at Pinnacle Bay stay and do things, and they cater these events. So apparently this is like a big fucking deal. Like I'm gonna be doing shit for Wiz Khalifa next week. All right, whatever. Take it back into the podcast studio. I'm almost home. I went over to see Sweet Baby Hammy after her shift. Just popping over at her restaurant. She was having fun. I yelled, "Is that little Poopa Jones?" And then I gave her a sweet little kiss on the cheek. It was very fun. Fart Damage is brought to you by Pixie Pins. If you are in a punk band, even though you're 37, now's the time to fucking take advantage of a new capitalist merch opportunity. You are going to go to facebook.com/ whatever the fuck. Who says backslash actual? It's just the slash. It's a backslash. PIXXIEPINS. That's Pixie, 2 X's, pins, all one word. PIXXIEPINS. I think I spelled it wrong the first time, so I'm going to spell it again. PIXXIEPINS. Facebook.com/PIXXIEPINS. And we're also brought to you by what? Cape Cod picnic tables. That's right. If you want to go on a picnic in the Cape Cod area now, you used to have to just try and fucking contact them and figure it out on yourself like a fucking dumbass. But now you can go to CapeCodPicnicTables.com and get your own handcrafted fucking picnic tables. But you got to be local for that shit. I know I live nowhere near Cape Cod, but you know what? You know who does? The beautiful Paul Kilmer. I mean, God, the guy's on that fucking peninsula like every day performing comedy magic for hundreds of tourists from probably where I'm from. So, you know what? I'm not actually that far away. So, Pixie pens, Cape Cod picnic tables, you know what to do, motherfuckers. Let's go home. Let's go back to the podcast studio. What a day. I did everything Paul said. I stood up for myself and said no, and then ended up saying yes to everything because I am going to fuck that place up. We did it. Waiting all day to do this. Couldn't do it this morning because it was stinky. I got a job at the Single Barrel. We did.